usually work with high schoolers, but there was this one time I had to give a retreat, and no one told me exactly who the audience was. The participants turned out to be 3rd and 4th graders, so I show up at this retreat, and I have to prepare these 3rd graders for confession. And it was crazy because all of them were so terrified about going to confession, and all I'm thinking is, you're in 3rd grade, what did you do? I mean, you're too young, like, did you shank someone in recess? Terrified, they kept looking at me saying, do we have to go, do we have to go? And so I took a step out of the room, trying to think to myself, what can I do to get them to realize that confession is not about dwelling on sin, it's about freedom. And then it came to me. I went on YouTube really quick, and I looked for the movie Braveheart. Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's amazing, and it's kind of violent, so maybe you shouldn't see it just yet. The heart of the story is about freedom. It's about men trying to fight and repress a foreign army. And there's this great scene I was showing these kids of the remaining soldiers and William Wallace, the hero, trying to inspire them. And all they want to do is flee because there's no way in their minds they could beat the enemy. So he's on his horse and he's riding back and forth, and he essentially says to the men, yeah, you can hide and live afraid, or you can die fighting for your freedom. And he raises his sword up and he says, they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom. And as I showed the kids this, they're all stomping their feet, excited, screaming and yelling. And I tell them, this is what confession is. It's not about sin. It's about admitting that we've fallen, we've been on the wrong side, but we want to go there. We want to go back because we want freedom. And so we march them into confession. We're in this huge cathedral, and there are other people there, and we're all sitting in the back, and I'm kind of with the troublemakers. And I send this cute little girl up to the front. She's the kind of kid who kind of gets distracted really easily, and she's walking and just staring at things, and she finally makes her way into the confessional. And like minutes go by, and I have no idea what she's saying. But the door opens up, and she looks out, and she sees me in the distance. You ever get that feeling that something horrible is going to happen? And just as she's looking at me, I slowly start backing away to the door. And she's still pointing at me, and she smiles. And then she screams, freedom! And I'm already out the door. I've never been so embarrassed and so happy in my life. And all of those kids that I left by themselves, they're stomping their feet, screaming, freedom! All I'm thinking is there's a priest who has no idea what we just did. Kid after kid goes into confession, walking out, and for that one beautiful moment, they get it. Life is not about sin. Forgiveness is about getting out of sin so that you can live free, because that's what we're all searching for. We're really looking for joy and peace and happiness, but what we all want is freedom. For a lot of people, especially growing up, Christianity just sounds like it's all about rules. But the rules are really about a relationship, and Jesus is here to offer that relationship to you. Rules make sense in the context of a relationship, because relationships are all about freedom, the freedom to love and the freedom to be loved. Join us now as we listen to Mike as he shares his witness of God's love. Mike, thank you for joining us here today.
Happy to be here.
A lot of times when we grow up, we're often kind of like given our faith by our parents, and then we go through that process of wanting to like test to see how far we can go and if we really believe it, if it's really our faith. So did you grow up this way? Did you have a family that kind of raised you in the faith?
Yeah, totally. One of 6 kids, 3rd of 6, 3 boys, 3 girls, and we were, your typical, cradle Catholic family, going to mass. My dad would be taking me to confession with a small bribe of ice cream afterwards. He'd be
right. Forgiveness is sweet.
yes, very sweet, and just come out of there joyful as can be, and then to add to that, the ice cream. We'd go to adoration Monday nights. My dad had the 9 to 10 o'clock slot, and he'd again take me by the small bribe of ice cream. And and that's kind of typical, I guess, going through the motions with your family. You halfway understand, but definitely devout every Sunday, going to mass, and Easter, the 4 days straight, and that was a bit of a grind for a little kid, but we went anyways. All the guff we might have caused our parents, but yeah, just had family prayer times. Even when we had friends over, we'd be singing songs and we'd be, praying Hail Marys, Our Father's, pray a Rosary or Divine Mercy or something like that. And sometimes our friends were like, what is this? And we're like, hey, this is what we do, and maybe a little embarrassed about it as, like, oh man, now they know, like, we're serious, but yeah, we were serious. And, my parents were very adamant about raising us in the faith.
So tell me, how would they describe you as a kid?
Pretty rambunctious. I always was active. I always wanted to do something. Up early, ready to go play basketball, or go down to the park, or go across the street and shoot hoops all day long. And but I just I did the best I could to do what my parents told me, and definitely hated the chores we had to do, and the spankings. But I was just, your normal kid who just, played with the neighborhood boys, and, got in fights with my brothers and sisters, but I loved working outside. I loved the mowing the lawn. When I was able to do that, my brother kind of passed that down to me, and raking, and just working hard, shoveling, big snows. I was out there. I'd be going to houses down the street and just, knocking on their door and charging $2 to shovel someone's driveway. It took me like an hour.
Oh, people love you in Michigan, don't they?
They loved me. I'd come back after a long snow day or weekend, and I'd have $9. I remember in the garage, taking all my stuff off. I'm sweaty. They got snow all over the place, and I'm counting, $9, like a whole day's worth of work, $9. But I just liked working hard, and I did the faith thing was just something I did with the family, and went to Catholic school and played the sports. Basketball mainly was all we had. And
well, so would you say that for you personally growing up, was a relationship with Jesus something that you were aware of, or was just always something in the background?
It was really in the background for a number of years till I got a little older, but it was always, thank God for my parents, it was always there, because every week we were at least going to Mass, and just almost all the time we'd be having night prayers and prayer time as a family. And as much as we despised it as a family, we're all doing something, it's late, we're all tired too, or we're doing, playing with each other, or we're, doing homework or watching a video. It's like, nope, all right, prayer time, all right, and then bedtime. It's like, come on, just bedtime. Let's just skip the prayer time, go to bedtime. And I think that's due to the fact many of us, we just did it because our parents, were just trying to instill in this love for the Lord in us. And it took longer down the road, but it took.
So, as we start getting older, especially in high school and college, we're kind of given more freedom to do what we want.
Yeah.
And did you find that, with your freedom, that you've really kind of, you ran after the Lord, or how did your faith grow?
Well, it went through a couple valleys first. 8th grade through sophomore year, I really got involved with my friends, and what they wanted to do, and what I thought was fun too. I was right with them, like, let's do this, like every weekend for 3 years, mainly. I was the party animal, let's go hard, man. Let's party till 6 in the morning. There's this stupid song. We party till 6 in the morning, and we took that literally. I took that literally.
You thought it was an instruction.
Yes. This is my creed, 6 in the morning, then I just crash, but let's say if I made it to 6, we did it, man. And those are my goals. Let's see how hard we can party, let's, get slammed with all this alcohol. Let's chase after this girl. Let's do that drug. Let's smoke weed a lot of the time. And, after 3 years, my sophomore year, I just realized, what am I doing? Where have I come? I've done nothing. I've gone nowhere. In 3 years, I've just totally chased after what I want, and just always thought of me. I remember my parents trying to talk to me, and
they knew what was going on?
No.
Not the extent of it?
No, definitely not. Thank God. I probably would have been in big trouble, but they would ask, hey Mike, how you doing? What's going on? Just one word answers. Fine, good. and I never like, how are you, Mom? How are you doing, Dad? And didn't realize how much they did for me till recently.
Yeah.
But it was just wrong what I was doing, and through that time, I've gotten nowhere. So that was really sophomore year, and I was, the Lord, I was chasing after the world's type of pleasure, the world's type of fun. I thought this would fill me up. But was able to go on a mission trip my junior year, which is just awesome. And
did you go with some of these friends of yours, or was this something?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was from a community in Miami. I went with another friend of mine, Mike from Lansing, and then we went with a Christian community down in Miami to Honduras in 2007 for 2 weeks. And coming back from that, having the relationship that I had with these guys after knowing them for only 2 weeks, and it just hit me like, I have this man, I miss those guys. Like, we bonded so close, and why is that? And it was because Jesus was the center of our relationship. Jesus was the center of our friendship and what we were doing and why we were doing it. And it was really a time to go off and do it ourselves. I didn't have Mom and Dad like, all right, we're going to Mass, and we're going to confession, or whatever. I was able to do it kind of on my own with a group of peers. So coming back from that and just, Christ should be more the foundation, and that helped me realize, I should, check my priorities again, and that helped me say no to what I was doing at the time.
Teach everything He commanded them to teach.
New ways to communicate God's Word.
Present positive images to our people.
This message of truth and salvation.
Culture of encounter.
Gospel of Christ worldwide.
Shalom World TV.
(24/7) Faith-filled,
dynamic,
virtue-building,
commercial-free,
family-friendly,
Catholic charismatic channel to the whole world.
Promote the gift of church teaching.
Dedicated for the new evangelization.
Mentor the young into a deeper embrace of the Catholic faith.
Wonderful contributions to the church.
People of prayer.
Attractive people, attractive messages.
Peace of Christ.
Promote the values of life.
This is media at its very best.
The voice of the church.
With great love.
Taking this to the next step.
Shalom World TV.
Shalom, shalom.
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 Shalom. Shalom.
Shalom World, God's own channel.
Christianity isn't just about sin. Christianity isn't just about how to avoid sin. The purpose of all of the rules is about freedom. We have these rules so that we can finally find a way to live in relationships of love. But rules without relationships, all it does is lead to rebellion. Because when we start questioning the rules, if we don't understand they're about a relationship, the rules don't make sense. Let's continue the conversation with Mike and find out how falling back on the rules actually led to a relationship with Jesus. You go to college. Now you're free to do whatever you want.
Yeah, that was a big step. I remember the first lunch that we had. It was, I should know the exact date. It was like June 22nd, 2008, we went up there. So June 23rd, I think it was June 23rd. We're sitting down at the cafeteria. It's a Monday. We got there Sunday night. And it's me and there's like 23, 24 of us, scholarship athletes, whatever, from all over the country. And you know, we all have our trays in front of us, like 4 or 5 plates. It's all you can eat, dorm food. We're just like, well, we're just loving it, you know? I mean, especially us that need to gain weight. And so I'm sitting there, I'm just like, none of these people know who I am. I don't know any of these people. They don't know me. I can be any kind of person I want to be. I can put on any kind of mask. And I just realized, you know.
Yeah, you could recreate yourself.
I could recreate myself. And realizing that, you know, what do I do? And just what I go back to was back to what my parents taught me from day one. It's like, it started with the simple sign of the cross. And, you know, that little yes for the next 5 years propelled me to just know the Lord more. And looking back, there's so many more little yeses, but it just started from that first one. And it was pretty cool seeing a couple weeks down the road some other people. I mean, they may not have done the sign of the cross, but they would just bow their head, you know, a little bit before praying. I was like, I didn't see that before. Like, wow. Yeah, I don't know how that came about, the Holy Spirit for sure, but like, you know, it's not just me. You know, these people have faith too, and just to be bold and live it out and just make a decision to live for Christ, you know, and being on the football team, 105 other people from all over the country, and you're Catholic, like, because a lot of things the bad things are opened up to people on the football team at a Division I level at CMU, and it's like you can get into a lot of trouble real quick, and just feeling like sometimes I'm the only one, you know, and getting asked questions like, oh, you're Catholic, or you do the sign of the cross. What does that mean? What does that do? Or why do you do that?
Yeah, I mean, like, what a public moment, you know? It's not just praying, but people actually see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that kind of fosters questions. So were you prepared for that?
I was absolutely not prepared for that. I mean, I wish I would have paid attention more going to Lansing Catholic or Resurrection, and you know, kind of just going through the motions and this is religion class, I have to be here. But then going out and finding the answer, like always, being Catholic, I knew, you know, there's an answer. Why are we doing things? You know, being here for 2,000 years, like we've been, you know, asked about this and that and this and that, and you know, interrogated and broken apart. Why do we do this? And there's answers, and there's reasoning behind it. And to find that out, you know, this isn't just blind faith. This is faith in reason. There's something that, you know, everyone can come to understand why we do things, and to search after those answers. And oh, great, that makes perfect sense. Man, I wish I knew that right when he asked me. Now I better go find him. Yeah, I'm gonna go find that guy, and you know, and it's just to always have that kind of that answer back, like humble enough to be like, I don't know, but I'll find out. And just like, well, you know, he doesn't know, I got him, but I'll find out. Oh, shoot, he might, you know, I better, you know, I don't know. Hopefully it's like, I'll get you, I'll get you. I'll find the answer and I'll come back with you and I'll share it with you, because in sharing, that's the only way, you know, hearts are gonna change, is in love and in sharing the truth, and not like trying to win an argument. It's just sharing.
So tell me, 4 years of football, 4 years of college?
Yeah, 4.5.
4.5.
That half's a big season there. Yeah. If I didn't have that half, you know, I don't want to play just 4 seasons of college football. The fifth one was great. Yeah, we won the Pizza Bowl, so that was pretty cool. Because we had back-to-back 3-9 seasons.
Wow.
Which was tough. And it was our turn to lead. It was my sophomore, junior, and senior year. It's like, all right, what are we gonna do? Like, what's our legacy gonna be? Like a 3-9. Senior year, we're 2-5. It's like, you guys wanna go to a bowl game? Because we have to win the next 4 out of 5 games. So we were able to do that and went to the bowl game and won. So it was pretty significant achievement. I'm pretty proud of our team and what we put together. But
you kind of been growing in your faith since college. Where are you at right now?
Well, now I'm going to be a missionary on Michigan State's campus. I'm starting.
So you're going back to college?
I'm going back. I'm going back to college, bringing Christ to campus, and start with a not-for-profit Christian organization called University Christian Outreach. And there's a number of chapters across a number of different universities, but get to stay in Lansing and just evangelize to the young men there and be the voice for Christ on campus and try and bring young men towards the Lord. And I figure being 24, played some football, a year and a half out of college, like I know what you're going through, man. Like I've been through it. Let's walk together in it, and let's help each other. Let me help you and share some of my experiences, and let's just be there. When you need somebody, you need someone to be accountable to. It'll be, we have prayer meetings, we have, men's groups, outreaches on the weekends. Football, basketball, soccer, different movie nights, but just showing that a life lived for the Lord is a joy-filled life. And you're 21, you want to go have a beer or two? Let's go have a beer, but let's not get wasted at the bar and just waste all our Saturday waking up hungover at 2 o'clock and just being a waste, really. You have so much potential. And even people, video gamers, like, dude, we could play video games for like a half hour, an hour, and then let's go do something productive. Like, let's go do something else and just use the gifts the Lord's given us and seek those out. Like, what are those? What has the Lord given me? Like, what does He want? Where is He calling me? And to just build that trust in people, first off with friendship, and then try and foster that trust in the Lord to give your life over to Him and just see, and piece by piece. Just like me in college, it was piece by piece. It was praying before my meal. Next thing I know, I'm just going to Mass on Sundays, just what I would normally do. And then it's just confession, every, few months, and then every day. And then, daily Mass was in there. Like, I went there every couple months, and then every month, and every couple weeks, and then every week, and then it's every day. And over 5 years, it was just this slow process. And that's what the Lord, He just wants a little piece of you, and then He runs with that.
I think a lot of people feel like, man, that sounds like you're taking away my freedom. It seems like the more I give to the Lord, the more He wants. But that's not your experience. That's not what you're saying, is it? It's that you feel more fulfilled?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're going back to school to do this.
Yeah, and it's not, you find joy in it. You give Him a little piece. It's that trust, that faith in Him, and then it's not just, of course, He definitely wants more. He's a jealous God. He wants all of us, but you want to give. After you see the joy that He has given you from giving Him that piece of your heart, you want to give more. Like, how can I give more? How can I share more? Oh, this is awesome. Give me more of this. I want more of this. Just with anything that you end up liking, or new hobbies, you're like, man, I didn't think tennis was going to be that cool. I played one game. I loved it. Let's play some more. And then more and more and more. Like, tennis is a great game, by the way. That actually happened to me. But with Jesus too, like, one little bit. I gave him one prayer in front of all these people, and it was uncomfortable. I'm like, but I'm doing this. This is what I was brought up in my whole life. I'm doing this. And yeah, totally uncomfortable. And then, like, weeks down the road, totally comfortable. Like, whatever. I'm praying to Jesus. He's the Lord and Savior of my life. And you want to give more. You give Him a piece, you see the joy, you just want to give more. How do I learn more about You, Lord? How do I give You more of myself? Because I see now, in this little bit that I've given You, how joy-filled it is, how happy I am. Help me give You a little bit more.
He gives so much back, more than you could ever give Him.
Yeah,
is that great?
Totally.
So Mike, what would you say to people who are kind of going through this process, who are really kind of in the place in their life where they're just suddenly now free to do whatever they want?
Yeah. I would say, give that peace. Find out what that peace is that you can give to the Lord. I know they might be comfortable where they're at. Like, I'm good. Like, I like where I am. I like my classes. I like my schedule. I like my friends. And, I'm scared of, having to give that all up and whatever. And the Lord isn't calling us all to be priests and nuns tomorrow. Just what's that little bit, just in prayer, or just wherever you're at. The prayer doesn't have to be something totally, super smart sounding, or, how smart does that sound? Your prayer doesn't have to be super smart sounding. Just wherever you're at, Lord, show Yourself to me. Just reading in Hebrews, and if today you hear His voice, harden not your hearts. Like, today, right now, not tomorrow, not yesterday. He wants to speak to you now, today, and He is. If we just give Him like 3 genuine minutes of just Lord, what do you have for me? Like, I don't even know you, or I kind of know you, or I read the Bible last week for the first time and it was great. And it said this, like, what does that mean? Put someone in my life to reveal to me what that means, or just ask him, just be genuine. If you know him or don't have a relationship with Jesus, wherever you're at, just give him a few minutes of your time and it'll change your life.
Hey Mike, thanks so much for joining us and for sharing with us your story.
Happy to be here. Thanks, Joe.
So Christianity is about freedom. And is that what you really want? Because it's about today. And it really doesn't matter what you did in the past. And it really doesn't matter what you're afraid that you'll do again in the future. Today is the only day that you have. And the question is, do you want to be free? Nothing else really matters because we're not guaranteed another day. So right now, are you ready to ask for it? Because what you're really seeking, what all of us really desire, is not just a God who comes to love us, it's a God whose love sets us free. So remember, seek and you'll find.
Lord, I come, I confess, bowing here, I find my rest. Without you, I fall apart. You're the one that guides my heart. Lord, I need you, oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you.
Sin runs deep, your grace is more. Where grace is found is where you are. And where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Lord, I need you, oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you.
Lord, I need you way more than a feeding tube, way more than YouTube needs another billion views. And so I'd look to fill all these empty pews by first emptying myself to get made new. Cause how can I ask someone who's 22 to do unto others as you want done unto you, if I too have been made the change and been infused by the Holy Spirit and clean through and through? And only then will we really see the breakthroughs. Some call it voodoo, but see, we know the real truth. So all you doubting Thomases, it's time to feel wounds. From the womb to the tomb, I pay homage to Christ. My heart and yours have been super glued, and stop loving you, sorry but no can do. God the Father thicker than that water blue. Know how I need you because I can see you.
I need you, oh.